retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. No pain for their disease. Just like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip cards in the weekend, harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.
Yo, yo, yo. Prince Adam, what it be, brother me?
How do, long time no see?
How do, long time no see? Oh, I've been traveling across the country.
I've been everywhere, man.
Decompressing after a few days of craziness.
Oh,
and
really?
Excellence.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. I just got back to feeling normal-ish yesterday. Later in
Normalish.
the day. Yeah, normalish, I believe is the medical term for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same. There's a lot of late nights, early mornings, and long days with many steps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're definitely putting in the steps.
No doubt.
So
But
overall,
hey, look at us here. We're on the other side of our first event that we put together from top to bottom. So
how about that?
we all survived?
That's true. You know, that's a great point, is that we legitimately put that together on our own. And it was great, man. It was great. And I'm super proud about that. We had cars, we had spectators. The only thing that we didn't have was really a lot of vendors, if any. And I'm okay with that because you know where all that money went? To ADRL merch.
Yeah. No, that is very true. We did have some merch there, and unfortunately, that was us. So, yeah, I mean, well, in the big picture of it, when we're looking back at it, and all the things that we had to do to get from point A to point Z of the Georgia Drags 8 over the last weekend.
hmm
Um, Not the vendors in the midway wasn't important and it wasn't something that was on our radar. It just honestly, it wasn't something that we had the luxury of availability to get to until it was really almost too late for this
Right.
one.
Right.
So it just was what it was. But we know that with each race, it's going to keep growing, just like every other of the facets of
Yeah, of course.
measurement.
Yeah, absolutely. What a fun event though, man. We gambled. For 2 weeks I watched that weather.
Oh my God.
It was horrible the weekend
Yeah.
before, and I was like, it's not gonna happen. And then it got better and better by Wednesday, and then once it hit 20%, I was like, we're in, man. 30%.
Yeah, Wednesday I
I
was
thought
starting
at
to feel
that
pretty
point.
good. Wednesday when we were sitting there at the fabulous Wooden Nickel down there in Valdosta,
Oh yeah, good
I was
old
starting
wooden
to feel
nickel.
a little plug for him. Yeah,
It was
great
really
place.
good. Their burgers are super fire.
Great fried food, and grab a couple extra napkins for that burger, but it is worth it.
Yeah.
That was my first start to finally feel good looking at the weather today. We were going to get through all the days. I knew I felt pretty good about Friday. Saturday was up in the air, but by Wednesday, Saturday was looking pretty good. And then, hey, surprise, Friday night.
Yeah, right. But then yeah, right. So it did rain Friday night. It rained like crazy at about what, 9:30, 9 or 9:30, which was great because everybody, well, it wasn't great because I felt bad, all the racers in the pits and what they have to go through to kind of get out of that rain.
Sure.
I don't think that's anything new to them, but for me, I was like, oh no, shit.
But it was one of those situations that I think you and I were standing near the starting line at about the time that the wind had been going one direction all day, almost going down the track in the direction of the cars, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden flipped to where it was coming the opposite way. And past the track at the end of the finish line, way off in the distance, is where you could see lightning crackling off in the distance all night. So as soon as that wind shifted from that direction, I had a bad feeling.
Wasn't it crazy? Didn't it remind you of XRP last year
A little bit,
at Dragpalooza?
a little bit.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like there was lightning all around us, rain all around us, but not at the track. And I mean, we could see it. You could see it.
Yes, indeed.
Buddy, what's good, dude? Talking
buddy?
about Buddy. Buddy
First-
was there. Great to see you, dude.
Buddy got there early to get his spot.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he sure was. He was there super early.
Yes, he was.
So the weather cooperated, Friday was it's weird. Like I feel like I still am on the mends with my voice. Like I felt like I'd lost it come Monday or Tuesday. It's kind of been taking a little bit of time to come back, but it's great. So let's see. So yeah, rain Friday night and
A little bit Saturday morning. We caught about a 10-minute downpour-ish or a little hook of a storm that was going just north.
Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after that, I was like, cool. So we showed up to the track. Eddie and I was getting everything kind of set up, or Eddie was getting set up. We're hanging out, and I'm watching them run the tractor down the track, and just pushing waves of water over the wall. Man, I was just like, oh my god, how are these guys going to do this? But obviously, it's not their first rodeo, and they managed to, in a very short period of time, get the track completely dried up.
Well, what didn't they manage to handle
Nothing.
with great efficiency and expertise the entire weekend?
I mean, that was from Raul and his crew to his wife managing the front gate. I mean, it was
absolute top down.
It was an amazing experience, and like I was telling them, I hope that they didn't spoil us. It's like it was okay because taking all the hits we did during the event with all the different things that could have happened, that was the one thing that wasn't a clusterfuck, was just the operational side of it, how smooth and awesome it was, right? So you can't expect everything to be bad. That's kind of backwards, right? You can't expect everything to be bad. I was kind of hoping. I was, hey, what's up, buddy? I was
Sometime you'll
hoping,
see.
yeah, right. I was really kind of hoping to experience all the different variables that could happen during an event. We got a lot of them.
Congratulations. You scratched a
yeah.
lot off your list.
We did, right?
Some we didn't know were on the list, but boy, did we scratch them off quick.
Yeah. It was crazy, like quickly how we found out just a lot of things, right? Like doing buybacks when you're already crunched for time. Probably not the best idea in the world. However, we did it. And we managed to almost pull it off. The only classes we didn't get to finish was Pro Nitrous and Bracket 2. We finished the other classes, Pro Nitrous and Bracket 2. You know, we called those guys in after the event. They unanimously, collectively agreed on how they wanted to divvy out the pot. Eddie Maloney, shout out to Eddie, man. I mean, just from a competition director standpoint and a tech director, all weekend long, everybody's like, Eddie's awesome. Eddie's doing it right. He's making the right decisions. Good for him. It was super fantastic. Thanks, John. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, and in the big scheme of things, I don't want, you know, we don't want an uptight event, right? We want it to be, you know, to me, a hobby is just that. It's something you enjoy and you want to have fun doing. I know there's a competitive edge to it, but that should be between the racers and not the promoter and the track and the racers, right? Like the racers should come in with the right mindset, nice and easy. There shouldn't be a lot of tension with things and so on and so forth. There should just be a good, nice, laid back environment where everybody's there. They can work on their vehicles, laugh, have a good time, and enjoy it. And that was the feedback that we were getting. Like, man, this is tight. It's well oiled. You guys are doing a great job. And it's not all uptight like an NHRA event or some other events. Not to throw, probably shouldn't drop names, but there were some specifics. So,
well, I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what capacity you're there for, whether it's the owner of the series, racer, crew, person at the concession stand, the end objective for everybody there is to have a good time.
Have a good time, right?
And it's so hard to have a good time when everything, there has to be structure, there has to be some template, there has to be some things going on, but it doesn't have to be ran in such a way that it's a crunch, it's a burden, and it takes the fun out of it. Because
that's right.
Why?
I know from a promoter standpoint, there's always going to be that. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. You know, I know from a promoter standpoint, at least in my mind, I'm always pushing forward and striving. I mean, no matter what I'm doing, you know, I'm very analytical. You know, I'm always really pushing to make sure that things are being done properly in the right fashion. And so I think I'll just look forward to the one day where there's a lot of automation and I can actually go and enjoy it with the racers, right? Because in the teams, in the pits, I did my best to walk around and meet everybody while there wasn't something happening or going on, right? So it's the mix between the tentativeness with the racers and the teams, and then also with the track and everything else that's going on. So I look forward to being able to enjoy it with the teams one day. However, for now, it's not that I don't enjoy it.
No, it's so
we're feeding through a fire hose right now, and I'm barfing all over the place constantly. So, you know, it's you know, have you ever drank too much water and threw up the water? Yeah, I mean that's kind of where we're at. So I won't go into like the whole myriad or spectrum of all the different things that happen, because to me it's new, but to everybody else watching, it's probably no big deal, and everybody's dealt with it a million times. Nick, what's up, brother, man? You know, so I won't bore everybody with my small world problems, which are normal for promoters and racers. I'm sure always
they're your problems, so leave us out of it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to. But let's kind of recap, man. Let's talk about the Pro Extreme class. What a great class that was, man. There had a handful of guys that showed up. Had no idea some of these guys were showing up. Some of the guys I thought were going to show up didn't show up. And I imagine that's normal things happen. Total homes break down, and I mean, cars have issues, and but that last at the end, I want to give props to all the Pro Extreme guys, especially our winner Bob. Bob Glenn's Mustang is so sick. Bob was one of the first guys there, and remember it was out in the parking lot. It was like one of the few teams that were there, and I went. I was like, "Oh my god, man, I love this thing so much!" Because you know, my first car was a Mustang, so 66.
We took some pictures of it and debated on which angle the sunlight was catching it the best. I recall.
Right. I mean, it was such a clean, beautiful car. But that Eddie, what's up, brother, man? Yo, 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 man. I love that dude. If you don't know Eddie, you better know Eddie, because he's genuinely, he genuinely gives a shit about people, which is hard to find in the big scheme of things, right? Like he's a true leader. Eddie cares about people. He's no bullshit and runs a tight ship, and he's super knowledgeable, and he's got a high level of character. So frankly, we couldn't have a better dude on the team, honestly. And he knows so many people, man. I mean, he knows so many people.
Yeah, definitely connected, which always helps, and that'll help us with expanding the extreme dragster class that young Pablo was referencing. That let's see, been questioning
you guys on the extreme dragster class. I've literally questioned for years why there wasn't a pro mod version. Well, here it is, and let me tell you something that we've been getting. We have been getting a ton. Yeah, that's right. We've been getting a ton of feedback on that class. So anyone that's watching, everyone that's watching, reach out to all your peeps, your pro nitrous, your pro drags or pro extreme, and your extreme dragster classes. But the extreme dragster class was super awesome. And we'll get to that here in a minute. But Bob Glenn, congratulations, brother. He had a really great weekend. Congratulations on being the pro extreme winner. And he ran against Bubba Stanton in the finals. And Bubba was hurt and still ran it hard, So, it's all good.
Speaking of hurting, Hank, poor Hank.
Oh, poor Hank Stubbs. That guy.
What a weekend, but what amazing Photoshop they do to make him look like he used to be fat. That was
how
crazy.
you know when somebody's, what's that meme? Say that you love drag racing without saying that you love drag racing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hank Stubbs is the dude, right? Like I'm pretty
drag.
sure he said that he was at Fuel Tech before they came down. That was on Friday. So they were at Fuel Tech Friday morning or Thursday morning, one of the mornings.
Thursday morning. I let them in late Thursday.
Oh, okay. So Thursday morning they were at Fuel Tech, had their car on the dyno, motor exploded. They had to swap out the motor and the torque converter and everything else, parts, the whole thing while it was on the dyno. And apparently the guys at Fuel Tech were like, Luis was like, we'd never seen no shit like that. They like left the room, they came back, and Hank and them had a whole new motor, a whole new setup in their ride, right? So super cool. Then he comes, they get there because he needed to work on the car overnight, right? So then Friday morning, they get to working on the car, they test it. Did he break in testing or qualifying?
I think it was he went out for his first hit and shook the tires loose and just broke the back end.
Something,
I know.
something happened.
Technical terms, but that's what I know.
Oh, that guy. But you know what? The point is that
I saw him in damn near every other pit though. After his car broke, on a laptop, talking to somebody, walking the track with people. I mean, he was in it, even if he couldn't be in it.
So, how do you know you love drag racing without saying that you love drag racing? Is when you totally decimate your car in 2 days and you're still there at the event helping everybody else out. He was at every single pit helping everybody else out, tuning their stuff, whatever he was doing.
Luis came up. I saw Luis and plenty.
Luis was there.
Laptops helping out with the Fuel Tech aspect of things and the tunings of things. So yeah, I mean that's the beauty. That's the one thing I'm finding out since I'm still a rookie to this all. That's the beauty of it, is all the camaraderie within the groups. And it makes sense why when people are talking about, hey, when you're going to be parking the parking lot by classes, because we like to keep together, it makes total sense. You have to walk 20 feet for advice instead of who knows where or anything like that. Yeah, it was beautiful. It
was super beautiful. And so Hank Stubbs, awesome, man. Just cool, such dude. A cool cat, dude. Like genuinely, he almost reminds me of my brother. Like I feel like we could be brothers. I'm sure everybody else that hangs out with Hank probably feels the same way because he's that kind of cat. It's not hard to gravitate towards Hank because he's just a genuine human. I mean, like he's a good soul. You can feel his aura around him, right? Like he's just a cool fucking guy. And so, Bubba and Bob finals, Bob pulls through. Bob Glenn, congratulations, brother. It was a super fun weekend, man. Congratulations. Extreme Dragster, Toby Baptiste, and Renegade Fuel. Congratulations, Toby. There's your hot rod on the back of Adam's wall. congratulations on that class. Toby was super excited about the Extreme Dragster class. He said he's going to help promote the shit out of it. The other Dragster guys said that they're absolutely going to promote the shit out of it. So remember, guys, Montgomery, May 3rd and 4th, Drag Wars.
Yeah, may the 4th be with us.
May your 4th be with us. Okay. You guys see the correlation between the thingies there. Okay. So be there, Montgomery. Tell all your dragster friends, all your extreme dragster friends, all your pro map people, have them come out. It's going to be a great time. But Toby, congratulations, brother. That was pretty awesome. And that thing ran great.
Mm-hmm.
His team was super cool. Their rigs set up. Their dragsters really
that whole team just
really nice.
Runs smooth. Yeah, you can always tell the smooth running team. You see it in Toby's team, Doug's team, Bubba, Hank. The cohesiveness in the team makes a big difference.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So again, congratulations to Bob and Toby in our extreme classes. Bracket 1, no box. Tim Pafford. Tim's a super cool guy. I didn't know anything about Tim. I just randomly walked up. He was sitting on his golf cart, and I started talking to him and his buddy, and then spent about an hour talking, and then found out all about the guy. Like, you want to talk about somebody that's been in drag racing for a long time, probably one of the most winningest bracket racers is Tim Pafford with that S10 that he's got. And he was showing me some tricks that he has. I'm not going to talk about it.
Sure.
But after he explained it, I was like, oh my God, ingenious. Absolutely ingenious. Where's the picture you took with me on my camera's blocking? What's it say, Adam?
Where's the picture you took with me on the starting line?
Oh man, there's a bunch of pictures. You know what? I'm trying to collect all the pictures.
I don't even know if you've purged yet your pictures. And
I've got pictures on my camera. I've got Scott that's got pictures. Brian Epps that have pictures. Adam has pictures.
Video.
There's video. There's a whole bunch of stuff compiled together that we're trying to get purged out. But in the meantime, there's a lot of post-operation things that got to happen. Like crunching numbers, P&L stuff. You got to look at the numbers, right? Where did all the money come from? Where did all the money go? How was all doing it? Oh yeah, Eddie had pictures too. I'm photoshopping it. All right, sweet Eddie. Yeah, back to Eddie though. Don't want to forget Eddie, and not that we have. I don't know what the hell we would have done without Eddie this weekend. We wouldn't have had a race, frankly. I mean, it just would have been. Well, I mean, it wouldn't have happened. So, props to Eddie. As a tech director, everybody was giving huge props to Eddie. Props to Eddie as a competition director too, because he was pushing them through. He was calling through, call them, get them to the lines. We're going to swap these lanes. We're going to do these with the classes. We're going to flop these and do these. And I mean, he had it all under control. The guy clearly knows what the hell. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I can't wait to see you too, brother. And Eddie just had it together, dude. And even when it came to the end, like when Eddie says, "Hey, I don't think we're going to be able to finish some of the classes." Adam Klein, what up, brother?
You talk about just everything. Almost, it was almost destined for us not to finish the classes. As soon as they got the track cleared on Saturday, fire them up. Shut them down. Medical emergency in the staging lanes. Totally unpreventable.
Totally unpreventable. Let's touch on that real quick. Unfortunately, one of the racers, and we're not going to drop names, one of the racers, his son was recently diagnosed with epilepsy. And in the staging lanes, and I'm down there getting ready for the races to run, and I forgot who I was talking to. And then all of a sudden I find out, they're like, dude, you should go to the back. Maybe that was you, Adam. That was like, you need to go check it out. I was like, oh shit. And so go back there and come to find out one of the racers' sons has recently been diagnosed with epilepsy, and he had a full-blown grand mal seizure, face planted in the staging lanes, and it was a whole huge deal. I'm familiar with epilepsy, so it wasn't as big of a deal to me because my whole life my sisters had grand mal seizures, so I'm used to what they look like and how they come on and how intense they are, and they're really scary. But to everybody else that was there experiencing it, I know that a lot of people were like, holy shit. And so that was crazy. Yeah. So to Adam's point, it's like right when we get the tracks dried, everything's going. The water's seeping up out of the cracks.
Couple passes after that, the track caught on fire for a little bit.
Yeah, the track caught fire. It was crazy. It was really super
It
cool.
was, water rose up from the ground like the dead. It was
Yeah.
I never anticipated that or knew that that was an option.
No. Right, exactly. I didn't know that was even a thing. I guess
Yep.
if there's cracks in the track, that's just what happens at that time of the year because anyways, there's
So much
reasons for it.
groundwater.
Groundwater, expansion, contraction, water comes on, all the science stuff. So then Eddie's like, yeah, hey, I don't think we're going to finish the classes. He goes, what do you want to do? And I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, there's a possibility of classes not finishing. What do you do? Like, there's no winner. I don't know, Eddie, you tell me. You're the boss, brother. And he's like, I got it. And so then the races are over, and then, I don't know where anybody's at. I got racers coming up to me asking me, about payouts. And I know there's the winner's circle, and they're like, hey, we need to go to the winner's circle. And you're like, come on. And I'm like, where? Anyways, it got really fucking chaotic there really quick.
Yeah.
And then it all worked out. But Eddie took care of it, man. I went to the winner's circle. Adam and I did with Brian Epps. We took pictures, handed out trophies and checks. It was super great. And in the interim, my mom was up at the tower. We got help by Ray. I can't remember Ray's last name. Eddie, if you're watching, if you can,
that part escapes me. I have Ray locked in, but the last name part, nope. I can pull him out of a lineup.
Huge bracket racer promoter, super helpful. He sat there, helped do the payouts while Eddie was addressing the bracket 2 and nitrous class. He's like, I'm going to call him in, and Eddie and I talked about it. I was like, hey man, Ray Williams Sr., that's what it is. I told Eddie, I was like, look, dude, I brought money to give. I brought money to give to the racers. I was like, and I don't want to leave with it. So whatever you think is the best decision. So, he brought in the racers. They collectively agreed on how they wanted to do their payouts. That was it. And everything was copacetic. Awesome. Everybody got paid. Lots of smiles. Great time. And again, I can't thank Eddie Maloney enough for his help with our first event,
as well as the other 2 members of our team, Bonnie and Danny.
Well, of course, that's a given. Absolutely, yes.
I'm avoiding both of our texts in the next few minutes.
So yes, everything else though, from an operational standpoint, between Adam being the operational to-doer collector of to-doers. And then videographer.
Sorry about Friday, folks. I did the best that I could.
Yes, absolutely.
I came back a little better Saturday, I hope you think.
Yeah, it was good. And then everything that my mom and stepdad do is from merchandise to organizing the hotel rooms and the campers and everything else. So it's definitely a team effort. But there is no buts. So it was super great. And then let's get back to the racers. So then we did again have Tim Pafford, who won the bracket 1 no box. So he's just a super outstanding dude. I can't wait to meet him again one day.
Funny.
Box 2 and Pro Nitrous, no final. No one got crowned, as Eddie would say. They figured it out copacetically, and everything was good to go. Let's discuss some times though. How about Bubba Stanton and a 364th of 5 at 211 miles an hour? I mean, come on, Bubba. I mean, he's a bad SOB, man. Big bad Bubba Stanton. He's got a reputation for a reason, dude.
Yeah, he shows up to throw it down. Yeah,
he shows up to throw it down. Now, I'm sure Bubba doesn't want to hear this, but what about Doug Reister? Almost tying his world record at 359 with the 5 at 205. Nitrous car, baby. 359 nitrous car.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to be there and see.
Yeah. Who has video of that run?
I mean, I can't imagine anybody would be down there or would be foolish enough to be down there with a video camera that may have captured perfect moments of that. I don't know.
And then Jody Stroud, 372 with the 197 Extreme Dragster, 372, 197. So, it just goes to show that, sometimes even though you're the fastest, you don't always win. And I'm sure everybody knows that. But yeah, I mean, just super, super fast times, man.
Yeah, so, good times, good
fast
races. And a lot of that came down to, like you mentioned, the track prep that we had down at SGMP. And they were on top of it.
Yes.
Which I didn't doubt and didn't suspect anything less, having seen them operate at Lights Out. I mean, if you can handle prep for Lights Out, doing it every the 13 minutes it felt like you got going on.
It was, and then we started taking bets. Like, is the tractor going back around? And he's going back around. Is he going back around? I mean, it must have been 100 times
when
he
you
was
were drying that track. It was on the live stream. You could go back and time it out if you wanted to, but it felt like days. It felt
it did
days.
And I felt so bad for everybody. I was like, damn it, man.
It was yeah. You're fighting nature, so at some point there's only so much you could do. It was either a matter of they were going to figure out a way to get the water out of the ground, or the temperature was going to get to a level to where the water was no longer coming out of the ground. So it was just a matter of which one and at what time was it going to be. And, you know, in the big picture, had we known about 15, 20 minutes, that would have been all we needed to be able to just call the whole thing a wrap on those other two classes. But what it is.
I mean, to that point, how crazy was it that we got 2 rounds done in 5 classes?
Sure.
2 rounds in an hour and a half.
Yeah. The fact that we pulled off what we pulled off is amazing. And then just that fraction of if we had this, we could have gotten to it all. But in the big picture of it, for the first event, the way it went down, the way it all happened, I don't feel like there's much of a way we could pull off that lot at SGMP and not be satisfied.
Yeah, for sure. And look, we had not a bad car count. It's on a giant parking lot. Unless you have 200 cars, it's going to seem like there's not a lot of people in there. But we had a lot of cars. Well, let me rephrase that. We had a decent amount of cars for our first event. I think it was pretty decent. Thank you, Eddie. And because I knew we had some comments earlier going back and forth. And then the spectator count wasn't the most brilliant, gigantic spectator count in the world, but the fact of the matter is that we did have quite a few spectators, whether that was 500 or 1,000, whatever that was, in and out in bulks. I mean, at times there were sections in there, you know, on both sides. So with a place that big, it looks like there's 0 people in there. But
it's kind of like when you open up a restaurant, you do a cold open, to where you open up for a few hours just to kind of get a little bit of a rush, get the crew and everybody established and feeling it. This was kind of our cold open. That's the way I'm going to look at it. We learned a ton, and you know, we validated a lot of things that we did, and we learned a lot of things that we are going to translate into and do in the future. So
that's right.
There were a lot of wins that came out of the weekend, no matter how you slice it.
That's right. No matter how you slice it. Okay. Yeah, that was a good message. So, you know, it was a good weekend. It was a super great weekend. I really don't know what else to capitalize on other than the track owners were amazing. Our team, amazing. The racers, fun and amazing. The camaraderie. And it was just a great event. So I couldn't be happier with that event, the way it turned out, considering all the variables. You know,
they do it again in 43 days.
Yeah, we should. Then that goes on to the next topic. Drag Wars, Montgomery International Dragway, May 3rd and 4th.
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew. It's going to be great. I might dress as a stormtrooper that's vinyl wrapped in ADRL stuff. I might do a stormtrooper, ADRL stormtrooper outfit. Let's have like a costume contest.
Okay.
Like $500 to the best costume.
I don't see why not.
But there's got to be at least 20 entries.
Star Wars themed, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Maybe I should do you know, I could actually pull off Obi-Wan. I'm getting to an Obi-Wan age. I've got the white beard going on.
Should almost do like a adult and the kids contest.
Brian, what's good, dude? Glad you jumped on. Speaking of which, Brian Whitworth, he's the new owner of Verge competition series, or I think that's the name, Verge series. They do 470, 450, and some junior stuff.
Nice.
And we're in the talks about potentially doing some things together. But yeah, they got a good, decent following. If you guys don't know who they are, check them out. Verge.
That was definitely one comment that we had received, that not to pull us back to Georgia, but as far as, you know, the SNRA's there at an ADRL event. What's up with that?
Why not?
why not? They've got cars they want to race. We want to put on a race. That's what I kind of I like that aspect of what we're doing is reaching out with those partnerships like we've talked about in that previous episode with Toby.
Yeah.
The partnerships
that's right.
and why not? They want to race. We want to see.
I mean, how are
cars
you gonna do a Lollapalooza or Ozfest with one headlining band?
It's not easy.
You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, coming from the music industry,
Mhm.
that's how I envision it. Like, I feel like these big promoters and some of these big series should be doing stuff together.
Ooh. You never say
XPDRA.
never.
What's XPDRA?
ADRL and I mean basically ADRL and PDRA. In the
Oh,
future.
and PDRA. I'm sorry. I'm over analytical sometimes.
He is. I can attest.
I just, it's a thing. Yeah. Look, I mean, whether it's Radio versus the World and Duck X and ADRL and PDRA and Midwest Pro Mod and, whatever it is, like,
Does it answer the questions of, is it going to put on a great show for the spectators? Okay. If yes, all right, let's move on to the next. Is it going to be something that's enjoyable and fun for the racers as well? Yes.
Right,
I mean,
right.
If it checks all those boxes and everything's for the good, why not?
Yeah, that's right, dude. I mean, that's the bottom line. And,
wanna
man, that's
see
been
good
a
racing.
topic of conversation for a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were really happy to have the SNRA guys out there, man. They brought a handful of cars and they were really fast. The Thompson brothers, met them for the first time. What a great group of dudes those guys were, man. I mean, so cool. A lot of history. They were at some of the first ADRL events there in Georgia, the Hardy's Drags. They've been around for a long time. So it was great to spend about an hour and a half talking with those guys.
Mhm.
And I genuinely like going to all the pits and talking because, me, man, I'm a talker. I like meeting people. I like talking. Everybody's like a different book. Everybody's got a different story. It's amazing. If you just shut up and listen sometimes and just let people talk and just listen to their story, it's incredible some of the shit you find out sometimes. Like, what?
Yep.
Really, man? Like, you did that, or you've been there, or that happened? Like, but some people don't care. They engage in conversations to hear themselves talk, which is unfortunate. But hey, that's them, But you do have two ears and one mouth for a reason, so you can listen more than you talk. Some people don't. Some people don't do that.
I've got two eyes, and that's why I walk around with the camera. And I usually, me and my personality, I'm pretty well removed from conversations at most times, but that camera does great.
Yeah, for sure. We appreciate that, Adam.
Yeah, I play my role.
But we're really looking forward to going and seeing Brad in Montgomery.
Yes.
Everybody's talking about how great it's going to be in Montgomery. And so I'm really, really looking forward to it. We're going to push again. I talked to a few of the track owners that do some pro mod stuff, and they're going to share the word. And, we're going to keep putting on these events. The show we are putting on next Sunday has everyone come from each organization, the NHRA, HRP. What is it?
Which one's that?
Which one is that, Nick, on the 31st?
Not positive off the top.
I don't know. However, talking to some of the track owners and promoters and whatnot, and let me just say how grateful I am to have guys like Donald Long reach out and cheer you on. Somebody that I, at this point in my infancy, kind of look up to, considering I've been to one of his events and Spring Fuel Funny Car Nationals. Oh, right on. Somebody that we went to his event and seen what 15 years of hard work looks like, it really gives you something to push for. Now, I know that at one point the ADRL is as good as it gets. I mean, they're the pinnacle. 110,000 people in 2 days, 50,000 in attendance a day. Like, that kind of shit's crazy. I believe that kind of stuff can still happen, but what I'm seeing right now in the industry, to come to a radial event like that and to see that many trucks and to see SGMP, a venue that large, just so cram packed, and to have Donald like reach out and say, two separate occasions, be like, hey man, good luck. I'm rooting for you. Let's get you over the hump. Let's, we'll support each other, and I definitely will support anybody, right? And the fact that he was sharing our stuff, like, hey man, Donald doesn't normally share people's stuff. I was like, oh really? And they're like, yeah, no man, like, and I thought to myself, okay, cool man, well, let's get over this hump. Let's get the ADRL going again and get to kind of like what Donald was saying, like, we should be having Woodstocks and Lollapaloozas and Ozfests of drag racing per se, not music, but the big groups, the big dogs. Adam, you and I have had some very interesting conversation about some concepts, and we'll keep that to ourselves. But
yes, we will.
And and then Cole Pez and PGS Racing reaching out and giving us a thumbs up, just saying, hey man, good luck. And, all the guys that come to the track, Luis, and, just everybody that's given us support, we appreciate it. So we're going to keep grinding for everybody, for us, for the future of the ADRL, for the future of drag racing, for the future of the racers, and for all the spectators. Let's keep grinding on. But Montgomery, here we come. Never been to the track. We got 5 weeks, dude.
Yeah, it's that one's gonna creep on us real quick. I mean, it already has. If anything,
it's already here, dude.
So, yeah,
I mean, but what we had like 5 months to plan SGMP, and now we got 5 weeks to plan.
Yeah, I mean, it's we rode our bike one time around the driveway. Now we're looking to take it around the block. So we know how to ride the bike a little bit. We're just looking to take it on a little different trip. So hopefully we just hop back on the bike and roll.
Yeah, man. I agree 100%. I mean, now we'll know what happens during inclement weather. We know what happens when you can't finish classes. We know what happens when water comes up out of the track. We know what happens if somebody doesn't agree with the ladders and how they're working during payout.
Still tons more to learn, but
yeah. How bracket classes actually work.
Yeah,
I wasn't really aware of how bracket racing worked per se. I mean, I got it, but that was a good crash course in it. But anyways, Georgia Drags 8 was super fun, successful in my eyes, had a great time. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of it. Now we're moving on. Georgia Drags, Montgomery International Dragway, May 3rd and 4th. We want to thank our sponsors, Fuel Tech, Renegade Racing Fuels and Oils and Lubricants. I think they're all of them, and glue and all kinds of other stuff that they make, and Chris Duncan Race Cars. We're happy to have those three on deck as our sponsors. So, we're going to keep rolling on, keep picking up sponsors, making these events better and better, getting more streamlined, getting more spectators, getting more cars. And we appreciate everybody's support. And I'm going to keep throwing everything I got at it until, I don't know, either I'm dead or bankrupt, one of the two. But that still ain't going to stop me. If we're bankrupt, it ain't going to stop me, because you know what I'm going to do at that point? I'm going to do GoFundMe. Okay. Go fund the ADRL.
Well, I'm just kidding. Maybe we'll give that a shot before you go bankrupt. I'm just brainstorming and thinking here of ways to prevent that part of it, but
we won't let it happen. It's not going to happen, dude. We'll make it happen prior to that. What else we got, Prince Adam?
Whew, boy. I mean, it feels like everything, but at the same time, I mean, really, it's everything right now is just Montgomery. And then, figuring out, I mean, as we've talked about before, we had drag stock that unfortunately we had to remove from the 2024 calendar, but there's also possibilities and options maybe of replacing that or supplementing at least that race to keep us at the 5 races for the year. So, as much as Montgomery's still on the horizon and in the sights, boy, there's this has also taught me that we can't just look at one race at a time. So as much as it's on the horizon, we got other stuff on the horizon too, and plenty to do.
Yeah, it's interesting when you have the ideology of what gets thought about and talked about gets done, which is like the laser focused of event by event by event. But you can't do it that way, especially when you have a small team of 2 or 3 or 4 people. You just can't do it that way. I mean, you almost have to. You have to be laser focused on one event, and then when that's over, like the weekend's over, on Monday, bam, you're on to the next one, right? And it's just It's crazy
Yep.
fun. I
It's-
won't be taking vacations anymore after an event. I promise you that. There is no 2 or 3 day decompressing
Yeah.
after an event.
No, but I can understand that, especially when they're backed up like this. Maybe after the one in November, you can take a little bit of time if you want.
Yeah. It's all right. I don't need a vacation anyways. It was more the wife. She,
Oh, I hear you.
hey, let's on the way back, go to Florida and Disneyland and Orlando and Gatlinburg and Chattanooga, and then we could swing by and go to the Atlanta.
I've never been to Northeast Maine.
Yeah, let's cruise the East Coast and
Right.
stop into New York, and on the way down go through Ohio and Indiana. No, it was it's good to spend some family time.
Sure.
We've been grinding so hard the past handful of months that
Mhm.
it was good for my family and myself to have those 3 days, just to
Um,
get up in the mountains and
I've been part of
detach a little bit.
more good nights and bedtimes with your kids than any other kids just by us being on the phone until way past their bedtime. Yep.
Right, at least 3 or 4 times a week at least.
No doubt.
Yeah. That's right. Thanks, Nick. So yeah. Well, I don't have much more. It was just kind of like a debrief of the event,
Mhm.
and we're moving on to Montgomery for Drag Wars. So
I mean, the
spread
only
the
other
word.
thing
Got to
I
make.
say, my one last comment. I mean, probably one of the unsung heroes or hits of the entire event itself, but I happen to have it right here just in case. Look at this fantastic thing.
Adam sure is proud of his hat he made. It's a good looking hat, dude.
Proud of all my hats. I've got six hats sitting right here on half display and one
Yes.
on my head. So the hat
And-
line is growing.
And we're working our way through the merchandise process. It's kind of new to all of us. And, you got to start somewhere. So it's taken a long time, honestly, for us to have gotten the merchandise up, getting everything linked up on the website, but it's there. So everybody that's placed orders, I just picked up the box. They were just delivered to Adam within the past couple of days. I have the box here in the basement with koozies, t-shirts, and these
Tumblers.
awesome tumblers. So, if you haven't got one yet, please support the ADRL, support me, support my family. Every time you watch this and you don't buy something, a kitten will be killed. So,
Okay.
if you like animals, I suggest you go and buy some merchandise.
Yep.
I know that was messed up, and I'm just joking because I love cats. Actually,
Are we? I mean,
or are we?
can we really afford to take that chance? I don't know.
Every time you go to the website and don't buy something, a puppy dies.
Ooh, boy, yeah, that would get me buying. Thank God I've purchased all these hats, and also I got the little hoodies. Forgot to even mention that. This
I love that.
hoodie's comfy.
Hey, do you have my gray hoodie? Did I leave that in the camper?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, good. Thank God.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I knew you did.
Yeah, oddly enough, somehow it didn't end up in the stack of things that were yours to go back to you the other day. My bad.
That's all right, dude. You have a whole wardrobe full of ADRL gear over there.
It's growing and I'm loving it. Yeah.
Hey, but you still got to get pictures of all the new stuff that you made onto the website.
Yeah, I got all the fitted hats. The new fitted hat line is the newest one we have to get out there. I got to get with Nevin, who had a blast. Boy, blasted his first drag race. He's looking forward to coming back to another one. So got to get with him to finish off the polo shirt line. We've got the hoodies, which are very, very comfy. And of course, the shirts. So it's growing and expanding.
Yes,
fun.
it is. So support us. Throw us stars. Throw us Chinese stars. Make sure we're still alive. Pinch us. Go buy some stuff. Support the ADRL. Every penny you spend just helps us a little bit better. A
You
little
will
bit
love-
more.
You will love these hats. I'll
Yeah,
tell
they're
you.
super nice. And they're Richardson trucker hats. So they're not
Richardson
garbage hats. They're legit.
Nope.
They're too legit actually to quit. So
Got fitted trucker and flat bill for your head apparel preference.
that's right. So anything else, Prince Adam?
No, sir. That's anything I've got. Unless anybody out there in the on the interwebs has anything they want to throw into the chat, I think we've covered just about anything and everything we can. I mean, as I said, super huge thanks to all the racers that came out, Buddy, and all the spectators. I mean, it could have gone so much worse, and it went great for everything that it was. So
That's right.
couldn't be more appreciative.
Yeah, that's right. I'm really excited to go to Alabama. I wonder if they have some events coming up soon we should go down there and check out. Well, actually, we don't have time. Shit, we only got 5 weeks, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
We could drive down there for a weekend and go check it out.
Nothing saying we can't. Yeah, I mean, I'm
It
sure
is
there's
9 hours.
something going on. I've mapped it out yesterday, so I'm well aware as well. So yeah, it's only about 9 hours, which hey, all of our rest of our trips are under double digits in hours, so that's good.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible. I'll say that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I don't have anything else, Prince Adam, and we appreciate everybody tuning in. And we're gonna keep giving a check us out anytime, Stephen Elliott. Amen. You know, we're gonna keep giving it hell. We're gonna keep digging, and great things are around the corner. I'll just tell you that we've got a lot of great things happening, and we're just gonna leave it at that. So join us in Montgomery.
Yes, indeed. We will
May 3rd
definitely
and
have a
4th.
live stream.
Yes, we will. Even if we have to buy a Starlink to make sure that it comes through.
I've already got a SIM card on the way. It should be here tomorrow, and then Wi-Fi solution for myself. But it all depends. It's all every track's different. Every track's got its own little things, and I still have plenty of other things to figure out because, like we talked about, every piece of equipment that I tried up here and worked perfect up here shit the bed in Georgia on me, which that was there was nothing more fun than everything going on and needing to do so much and then having to try to figure that out and going through every possible plan. That was awesome.
Yeah, wasn't it?
That was a good time.
I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yes.
You know what that does? It builds character, builds some grit. Things that suck make you a better person. What doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. You got it, brother.
We'll catch you out there.
Hell yeah. So everybody that's watching, all you 1 million+ viewers right now, spread the word. Montgomery International Dragway. The ADRL is coming to Montgomery for Drag Wars, May 3rd and 4th. Tell everybody, spread the word. How'd your mama, how'd your sister, because they're raping everybody out there.
Well, hopefully they're not, but we'll see.
Yeah. Should be a good time. We're going to get some gambling going on out in the stands. It's going to be a good time, man.
Yeah. Get some action, get some activity.
Yeah.
My camera loves that kind of stuff, so I'm all for it.
That's right. And so thanks again to everybody that participated. All of our pro extreme guys, all the pro nitrous guys, the SNRA, the bracket classes, the pro and super pro, box, no box, bracket 1, bracket 2, whatever you want to call them. All the guys that came out to support that, our juniors that came out and ran.
Yep.
It was just a great event all the way around. So we appreciate everybody, and we'll keep pumping this out. We've got 5 more of these until Montgomery International Dragway Drag Wars, May 3rd and 4th. So we'll keep plugging away. I got nothing else.
Nope. That wraps it up for me. We will catch you all next week and go from there.
Yes, we will. All right. Love you guys. Peace and chicken grease.
There we go. I can't hit the end stream until I hear that. So
yeah, there you go.
There we are.
Peace and chicken grease.